Have you ever felt like you're holding your breath? Like there's a part of you that wants to scream, to be heard. All the anger at the childhood abuse you experienced, all the hurt you were never allowed to show, but you're still keeping it hidden to protect your parents' feelings. Maybe believing that if you don't express it, then it doesn't exist, or you won't hurt them if you let it out. But look, anger that we hide in the dark continues to grow and hold power over us. It keeps us stuck, unable to move forward or unable to heal, and it is constantly threatening to boil up on us. So here we are, left with the fear and guilt that if we actually do feel through this anger, the hurt, the sadness, then we're going to hurt the very people who hurt us. It's a crazy circle. And we do all this because for some crazy reason, as frustrated as we get with ourselves, we're attempting to protect our abuser. You're not crazy and you're not alone. This is very, very common, both to hide anger with our parents and to protect abusers, parents, spouses, siblings, teacher, clergy, anyone in power or authority who is given special leeway simply because they're family, anybody like that. So this session is about stopping that cycle and bringing your truth into the light. It's about admitting your anger to yourself, and not to be mean or to punish, but for you to be just free of it. Because you can't heal from abuse if you're afraid to feel your anger about it, which is mostly what this script is focused on, but also anything else that comes up. So pay attention to sadness, fear, disappointment, anything as we're tapping. And you can see the description box for a few articles on the research, the science of how this works if you're interested. But for today's session, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strong is the feeling of being afraid to be angry at your childhood abusers, most specifically your parents? And we'll check back in after tapping to see where that's at. If any feelings or sensations or memories come up, just observe them, give them space to process, and keep tapping. And then you can get back to repeating after me when you're ready. And it may have only been one parent or a caregiver, foster parents, so on. So feel free to say my parents when I do in the statements, or you can say mom, dad, the person's name, them, however you want to. If you're focused on them, your mind and body know who you mean and what you're trying to heal and clear out. So, okay, take a deep breath. And here we go. Just tap with. And repeat after me. Even though I'm afraid of being angry at my parents' abuse because I'm afraid it will hurt them, I deeply and completely love, honor, and support myself. Even though I've been hiding my anger to protect my parents' abuse, I deeply and completely honor and accept myself. Even though I've been holding on to this fear of hurting or shaming my parents for their abuse if I acknowledge it, I choose to release this fear and be free to heal my own traumas now. Even though I know I'm so frustrated, but still I'm protecting my parents by hiding this part of me. I fully love and support myself as I choose to step into the light of truth now. Even though I've been hiding this absolute fury at my childhood abuse. I'm ready to name it, face it, and feel it. so I can process, transform, and heal it. I'm so afraid to admit this anger at the abuse my parents put me through. I've been hiding it for so long. What if my parents get upset with me? What if my parents get hurt by me bringing up their abuse? What if my parents deny they abused me? Am I ready for that? It feels safer to keep my parents' abuse a secret. But safer for them or me? I need to heal this. I deserve that peace. My anger is a part of me that I am ashamed of. And I'm ashamed the abuse happened. I'm ashamed I'm angry. I know it's not my fault they abused me. I was just a kid. But I still feel all of this. Hurt, shame, sadness. I don't want to feel all of it. I'm afraid of what will happen if I admit it. It's just easier to pretend these feelings aren't there, that the abuse didn't happen. But I know I feel so stuck in life because I keep hiding it. And yet I'm still afraid to let it go. What if my anger is too painful for them? Too painful for them. This anger is like a fire in my chest. It's so tight and heavy. I'm so tired of carrying this burden. I know I can't heal from their abuse if I hide from this anger. I just can't move on if I let this all stay in the dark. So I invite the anger forward now. I ask that it come gently and not overwhelm me. I ask that all parts of me send forward anything that's hiding about my parents' abuse. Kindly and in a light of healing, processing, and transforming. Bring up anything that has to do with the abuse now. I see it all. I give it space and light. I acknowledge it all. Everything to do with my parents' abuse when I was a child. I release it all. I drop it here. Any anger at them, any residual anger at myself, I let it go. Any hurt, frustration, shame, I drop that too. Any fear or anxiety about facing or speaking my truth, I let it go. I'm okay. I'm safe. Safe to honor it. I'm okay. I'm safe to let it go. My healing is not dependent on forgiveness first. I'm ready to honor and heal my childhood abuse for me. I'm ready to bring myself relief from the anger. It takes courage to face the truth about being abused by my own parents. The adults who were supposed to protect me the most. I can be honest with myself now about my parents' abuse. No more hiding, it's just holding me back from healing. I can handle whatever comes up. I can process my own emotions so I can heal. I can handle confronting my parents if I feel the need to express how they hurt me. I can handle their reactions. They may be hurt, may be angry, may be ashamed. But their feelings are theirs to deal with. They may deny it, but I'll know the truth of what they did. And they know it too. I am worthy, and my emotions are valid. Anger, hurt, shame, fear. I'm ready to bring my childhood abuse into the light. I'm safe to admit this to myself so I can begin healing myself. I'm giving myself permission to be angry. I am now supporting myself as whatever needs to heal from my childhood abuse comes forward. I am honoring and acknowledging my hidden truths and allowing them into the light. I am not responsible for my parents' feelings. My feelings are important and valid for me to know and acknowledge. So I drop any fear of getting to know myself now. I drop any fear of how they might react to their past actions and abuse. I know I can't heal from my childhood abuse if I keep hiding this anger. Knowing myself on every level is a step towards emotional and mental freedom, and I give myself that. I'm ready to heal from my parents' abuse, and that includes my anger. I'm giving myself permission to be angry. My anger is a valid and important part of my healing. I can see it and then let it go. I'm brave enough to face the truth of what they did. I'm letting go of the need to protect my parents from my feelings over their behavior. I'm okay with however they react to my healing. I'm no longer responsible for my parents' feelings about their abusive actions. I'm taking my power back from the abuse I experienced. I am safe to feel my anger now. I can choose to express it to them or not. My anger belongs to me, and I can be with it without guilt. And then I'm ready to drop the anger and move forward. I'm ready to release the burden of hiding my childhood. I'm ready to live an honest, authentic life free of shame. I am worthy of my own emotional and mental healing and freedom. I spent way too long pushing down my feelings about childhood abuse, but I now choose to transform it. I'm honoring myself by bringing my hidden truths forward about my childhood now. I'm letting go of the need to protect my parents' feelings over their bad behavior. This is about me being ready to live an honest, authentic life, free of shame. I'm allowed to release this anger first before forgiving them. This work is about healing me first. I no longer feel any need to hide from my emotions. I am setting myself free. I am free of trauma. I am free of my childhood abuse. I am free of my anger at my abusers. I bring myself ease, healing, and peace now. Take a deep breath. And see where you are on that 1 to 10 scale now. Childhood abuse it takes incredible courage to be here and do this, and face this and do the work for yourself. And it is hard work, letting to the surface your hard feelings, the anger, the hurt, sadness, the things that we logically know we shouldn't even feel, shame, and, but it's a crucial step towards healing and transformation, because the anger, that fury at being abused, especially as a child and especially by your parents, is an absolutely valid and completely understandable emotion. Of course. So starting by getting a handle on the anger, I said this in a couple other videos, maybe like ripping out the roots of a tree. And so when you do that, you end the whole tree and end up bringing, closure, completion, a release to a lot of the areas you may be struggling with. But it also might just be the beginning of the healing journey, the first step, admitting it happened, allowing anger towards your abusers, so you can ultimately heal it all. And that healing can look however you want it to. It may be to bring it up with your parents to let your abuser know how their behavior has affected your life. You may feel after tapping it doesn't feel the same. You're okay to continue your healing for you without confronting anyone, and that's okay too. There's no right or wrong answer there. You don't have to share with anyone else if you don't want to. Sometimes something simply needs to be felt and acknowledged by us so we can look at it and say, yeah, that did happen. Yeah, that was unfair. These are all the things I felt about it, and then release it. And really, either way is valid. Healing is your journey. No one gets to dictate you have to say something to your abusers, or you'll never get over it. No, not if you don't feel like it, any more than they get to say to you, oh, they're old, or, that was so long ago. What's the matter at this point? Wouldn't it just be easier? That's basically saying, get over it, or it wasn't that important, or, it just didn't really affect you that much. And healing, especially childhood trauma, doesn't not work like that. This is about your freedom and your peace, however you feel it's best to get there. Ultimately, you're worthy of living without this burden, whatever your healing path looks like. So, yeah, once you, rip out that tree, it may be, like I said, all the roots that go with it, or the tree is not died, the main part of it, maybe that's anger, and a lot of the roots would have gone with it, but there may be some that you still, there's possibly other emotions that you need to try tapping on back to back with this one and clear that emotion to zero, and then come back to this one, either way until, they're both at zeros and you're not carrying this forward. And if you don't see what you're needing, let me know and I'll try to get a video out for you. There is a playlist for abusive childhood trauma and then also one for relationship trauma. But if you realize what it's done is left you with feelings of hopelessness or worthlessness, tension, anxiety, feeling like you're not allowed to, succeed, or you're always going to be a failure, whatever you realize, memories, words, things that they might have said, reasons why, they were doing what they were doing as if it was somehow your fault and you were asking for it, or anything along those lines, definitely look around the channel. I have lots of different videos out there, but again, if you don't see what you're looking for, just leave a comment and let me know. I'll try to get a video out. And this is a good first step, because they may not like it, but they shouldn't have done it, right? So they don't get to dictate that they don't want to have to face the behaviors that they participated in. They would have said the same to you as a child. You don't get to not apologize, or you don't get to not get in trouble because you don't want to face the fact that you did something wrong. You stole a candy bar, or failed the test that you swore you studied for, or something like that. Whatever it might have been, whether it was right or wrong that you got in trouble, they were your parents and they were trying to parent you for something. That's how things go. You have to first admit that a thing was done, and they don't get a pass because they were the adults, or they were the parents, or because they're old now, or none of that. Not when they made you feel all the things that have you here watching this video, basically. So I think that's it. If you subscribe, you'll get notified of new videos, and if you click like and can leave a comment, it does help me grow as a channel. I really appreciate that. And and we did say in one of the statements, just be prepared. They could deny that it ever happened, or really blow it off. Like, oh, you're blowing it out of proportion, or that never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. And if you know that your parent or your abuser is that type, that sort of, if it doesn't paint them in a good light, they forget like it, or can act like it never happened. Just be mindful of that. I'm not saying still not to bring it up. If that's your path that you feel you must say something, then you must say something. That's that, no problem. But just know going into it, if you know who they are. But even if you don't seem to think they're that way, sometimes that can be the case. People will, just deny. So just be prepared for that. Take care of yourself, and I'm glad to see you here and healing yourself so you can move on with an adulthood that you create. No abuse involved. Take care of yourself. I'll see you later.